Hello and welcome to Executive Talk. My name is Maurice Washington. I want to welcome everybody that are watching online and those that are here in our studio audience. Today we're going to finish up our series, Goals Meet Resolutions. As you guys know, this is the time of the year when everybody is thinking about their goals, thinking about their resolutions and things that they want to set themselves up for in 2016. So I'm going to go to the studio audience real quick. How many people have already set up their goals and resolutions for this year by a show of hands? Nice. That's what we want to do, and that's, during the holidays, that's the time that when we don't have anything to do, any clients to meet, that's primarily what we focus on is our new resolutions for the year. The goal in the resolution for this particular series is to talk about the effects of the reason why, how do we set goals? How do we set resolutions? What is the mystery behind all that? Why is it that we always, when we set these resolutions, where do we miss them? I think there's something about us as business owners that we actually want to achieve the resolutions that we set up for ourselves, and this is what this show is all about. And this show is titled The Implementation. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the definition of resolution, last week what we did is we discussed the definition of goals. So this week, what is the definition of resolution? It's the action of solving a problem, dispute, or contentious matter, and answer or solution to something. Okay, so think about it. I know what we do as business owners, we know these words, goals, resolutions, but primarily we don't take the time to really take the second step of looking out for the definition and what does it really mean and what does it mean to us. So in looking at the definition again, the action of solving a problem, dispute, or contentious matter, an answer or solution to something. When you look at the synonyms, you take it to the next level and look at the synonyms to the word resolution. You have determination, purpose, into, settlement of. These are all impactful words. They're all aimed towards something. So resolution is an aim. And when we think about resolution, the truth of the matter is it's the pinnacle. It's what we're really aiming towards. We're aiming towards a means to an end. Because when you think about the synonyms, into, that's why I say that the word resolution is the pinnacle. That's what we're all trying to achieve. And it's an emotional response. Think about the credit card that you just paid off maybe a month ago, or your credit card you paid off. The emotion was, whew, I'm glad that's out of the way. No more credit card payment. It feels good. You're happy, you're ready to move on. So that's the feeling of a resolution. So let's go to attributes of persons or people that actually resolve things. The attributes that you'll find is that they're firm in their decision making. They don't waver. Typically their answers are yes or no. If there's a maybe, they'll circle back around within days and give a yes or no. Because they understand that if you look at the definition, it's the action. If they get stuck in the maybe part of it, then they're stuck. There's no action. Even a no is an action. They know not to go forward with that particular, whatever that is. But all their actions are means to a solution. That's the key to a person that resolves. There's a means to a solution. They understand where to place the statement, don't quit. I think we hear that often as business owners. We say, don't quit, just keep going forward. Don't quit. There are certain things in your business model that you should quit. If they're not working, it is okay to quit those activities that are not working towards the end goal and towards that end resolution. But when we place this word, the statement, don't quit, we want to lean that towards the right thing, which is the things that are working for you, don't quit those things. Keep on with your pursuing and keep on your goals towards that thing. They have blinders on. Their attention is not divided with 12 different things on their plate. They know specifically in their business what they have to do. In their direction, their blinders are on. They can have a room full of people, but they know specifically what their target is. They know when they go to that networking event, they know what they're targeting. They know who they need to meet. They know what type of connections they have. They're in the resolving mindset. They make the right sacrifices. As business owners, we do make a lot of sacrifices as part of our journey. But if we're not making the right sacrifices, then we are spending a lot of time doing the wrong things. They're persistent. The value of persistency is it keeps you away from your old habits. Every one of us has some sort of bad habit that we have. But persistency in going in the right direction keeps you away, further away, keeps you going towards resolution. When you're not persistent, what happens is you waver in between your bad habits and the new habit that you're trying to create. And next thing you know, you're having a hard time getting to a resolution of something. So persistency allows you to move further and further away from those bad habits that kept you in that place before that you're trying to get away from. Some more attributes are they aggressively deal with their fears. They don't like them. As a matter of fact, it irritates them when they have fears. Something that stirs in them, they want to figure out what the problem is and they want a resolution to that fear very quickly. So typically that person will stew on it over and over again until they find out a resolution, because what they're trying to do is get away from that. They know how much that can set them back. They work on their habits that hold them back. Everybody has a set of habits that come with them, both good and bad. But if you don't understand the habits that are holding you back, it's like working through mud. And as a business owner, where you're in that position and you're trying to move forward and you're still working on these habits that are holding you down, it becomes very hard. It makes business ownership that much harder. They stay on their path. That's that same concept of keeping your blinders on, staying on your path. They work through emotional barriers. This is key to business ownership. When you think about a business owner, when you think about rejection and the issue that rejection does for you, you have to really consider the fact that if you feel like you got rejected, you make a phone call and that business owner and that client says, you know what, I don't want to go forward with you. If they have an issue, if something happens with that, what happens to that business owner? Do they step back? Do they stop making phone calls that need to progress them forward? And they also understand their decisions today that will affect the future. Everybody has a now aspect of their lives that they need to deal with, and they understand that. Everybody understands that. But they also understand the value of working for both today and tomorrow. They know that 4 months from now, this activity will set them up for a better year and will position them better the following year. So that's some of the attributes that you'll find in people that resolve things. So part of it is when you're thinking about resolutions, you're thinking about the what factor. Typically, this is the time of the year when people, again, list their resolutions. And a statement that everybody tells you is dream big. You know, what do you want? Do you want a boat by the end of the year? Do you want to go to Cabo by the end of the year? Dream big. Okay, no problem. So financially, they put a big resolution out there. The size of the company, maybe they want 4 offices in 4 different satellite states. Maybe their reach. Maybe they want to have reach in North Carolina, Florida, California, and New Mexico. Maybe that's the direction of their company. Maybe they want to have 50 employees. So this is the dreaming big. So now that that's written down, now that's out of your system, what should your goals look like at that point towards that resolution? That was the easy part, is writing down your resolution. Now where goals meet resolutions is now your goals have to line towards that resolution. And here's some truth about the goals meeting the resolutions. Your resolutions are great, but who you are is in the goals. Everything that you're made of is in your pursuit of your goals. The resolution, if that's the pinnacle, that's already set. It's actually set to the side. It's when you get there. But goals is your daily activity, your monthly activity, your annual activity. Your resolutions are either closer or further from you in this area. Based on how good you are as far as staying on track with your goals and where you're headed, okay, your resolution will get closer. You'll get closer to it. But the more challenging it is to reach your goals, the further away your resolution seems. Okay, well, I'll try again next year. Actually, I won't try again at all, because that goal that resolution I can't get to. So those are some of the decisions people make as they're going through the goal process. The greater the resolution, the more that's expected from you. You have to understand that you can have $1 million a month resolution, and that's okay. But there's more expected out of you from a personal standpoint as to your posture, the people that you meet with, your activity, your level of rejection that you're able to go in, your travel, all your habits will have to heighten based on the resolution that you set up for yourself. Now, your goals are actions toward the resolution. You must be purposeful in the goals that we set. There's nothing worse than having this great resolution and then having these goals and the goals not lining up towards the resolution. If they're totally opposite of the resolution, you're going the opposite direction immediately, and there's no opportunity for a resolution to meet you. There's a meeting ground from a goals to resolution standpoint. And we as business owners, if you're going to set up goals, give yourself an opportunity to set up goals that can meet the resolution. We must expose all our personal pros and cons. You must know about yourself, because goals is everything about who you are as a person. All your personal great habits that you have about yourself, those are the things that really pursue, and it's part of the motivation behind this whole thing. But your cons, those are the things that just kind of nag you on a daily basis, that get in the way of you reaching that resolution. Now, set goals that show that you love yourself. Now, I'm sure that sounds like a funny statement, but have you ever set yourself up for a goal? And this is a consistent pattern for a lot of people. You say, I have a goal to get this done by next Friday, and it's probably some exorbitant goal that you have no chance in meeting. Because based on your schedule, based on the reality of things, it's not possible. But then you set that goal and you don't achieve it, and then you do it again, and you do it again. What kind of habit are you setting yourself? What are you setting yourself up for? What are you telling yourself about your actuality of meeting a resolution? You're telling yourself that you don't love yourself enough to reach a goal. It's easier to reach smaller goals on a consistent basis than set up big goals that you'll never achieve. You have to practice achieving goals. Then you'll get used to setting resolutions. That way, again, resolutions can meet you there. So I'm going to go ahead and throw out a scenario for you. This is a typical business owner's resolution, is that they want $10,000 a month, and they understand that each sale for them is worth $750. And they've broke down the numbers that they need about 13.5 sales per month in order to meet this $10,000 a month resolution, which is great. So the goals, they broke it down to the finer details. They understood that they need 30 appointments per month. They need 7.5 appointments per week. That's what it breaks down to for them. They understand that they need to make 60 calls per month, and then that they need to have at least 15 calls per week in order to achieve those 60 calls per month. And so what they rated themselves is that 50% conversion ratio, they can reach these numbers. I think that's a good goal. It looks good, it's very clear, they understand where they're headed. That's goals that will help you understand and see the vision as to what you need to do. So now they took it to the second level. They identified their target market. They understood that massage therapists, chiropractors, doctors, and acupuncturists and physical therapists is their target market. Great. So it's a clearly identified target market. But what are they missing in here? They're missing the area town. Now, a lot of people don't take this step because you'll say, well, they can be anywhere. That's the business owner's favorite statement. It could be anywhere, or however many are everywhere. It doesn't matter. Just one of these top 5 people. But the area town does matter. What if a lot of your business is coming from Littleton or Highlands Ranch, or majority of your business is coming from Denver? You have to identify where that area of town or where your business is coming from. So right now, this business owner is set. So now when we're talking about the resolution, this business owner is going to start going anywhere and everywhere to find their business that they're looking for. They're missing the size of the business. Is based on their model, is their target market somebody who is a solopreneur, a solo practitioner, or do they need 2 or 3 other people that runs that office? You need to know the size of the business. It is important. Missing the annual income. Is there an average income that your massage therapist or chiropractor needs to yield per year in order to afford their services? Because any and everybody may not be able to afford the type of services or need the services that you need or that you offer. What about your referral system? Based on this person's business model and the way that they set up their goals, is that they set themselves up that they're just going to constantly find massage therapists after massage therapists, and that's how they're going to continue on their business. They didn't create a referral system for themselves that generates repeat business from the clients that they obtain over that year. So again, this goal is good, but at the same time, there's some missing links, and that throws people off when you talk about from a resolution standpoint. So their work schedule. They identified that they have 120 hours per month to work, and that they're going to work 6 hours per day. And that equates to about 30 hours per week. So they understand dynamically how many hours that they have based on their what's going on at the house or however much time that they have during the day. So they understand time management. They clearly identify that and they expose that. So when they're on Facebook for 2 hours out of that week, well, then they understand that they just cut down that 30 hours and now their work week is 28 hours. So you have to really break it down to the finer details to understand what your SWOT, what your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities are in the goals that you're setting. So let's talk about some positive attributes of this particular person. They're passionate. They just love networking. Okay, they love being around people. Self-starter. So when you think about your positive attributes, and I put down here, these provide hope. When you think about all the positive attributes that you have, a lot of the reason why we're able to set the resolutions that we do is because we know our positive strengths and the strengths that we have that will help get us there. So hope actually meets us based on our positive attributes towards resolution. Now, let's think about some negative attributes. Earlier I had it down as challenging, but negative attributes, we're all grown adults, we all understand this. But doesn't feel confident. Afraid of rejection. Not consistent. Starts strong, then stops. Now, my challenge to you business owners and those that are watching online, I want you to really consider, do these negative attributes, will they affect the positive attributes? A lot of the times, the majority of the times, it's absolutely yes. This person that is so passionate and that they don't feel confident about what they're doing, what will that do to the passion? It will dwindle that passion down. No matter how passionate a person is, that lack of confidence will take away that passion that business owner has, because they're not going to go out. Okay, they love to network. So okay, let's say they go out to network. They meet they have 10 opportunities at that networking event. It just worked out really well. So they pick up the phone, and then the first 3 people say, hey, I remember meeting you, but I don't want your services. And then they hang up the phone. So they happen 3 times in a row. That rejection, what did that do to that business owner? If you really consider the effect that that person has as far as being afraid of rejection, it is a huge thing. It can take you away from your goals and also your resolutions very quickly. So what I suggest to everybody, when you think about these negative aspects and we start to expose how you are personally and how both positive and negative attributes work for you, I want you to inventory the negative answers and the feelings. Just take inventory to understand what those feelings are. And what I mean by that is when you have a fear of rejection, as soon as you get rejection, typically you're going to feel something. You're going to feel upset. You got to inventory what the person said that brought the rejection out there. Was it your presentation over the phone? What caused that rejection? That answer is important for you getting closer to a resolution mindset. It is highly important. The negative side holds the key to what has been holding you back for years. When you think about the evolution of trying to reach a resolution, you have to understand that these negative sides, because there's a whole plethora of energy that the negative holds back from you in your pursuit on your goal and also your resolution. So it absolutely does, it does matter. If you figure this area out, the rate of resolution will increase. You will start to understand how. And that's what we need as business owners. It's not necessarily this year that everything has to come to pass. Maybe this year is a find out year, and that you use the year to really find out what's been holding you back all these years. In retrospect, that's a successful year, because now that you know the how, now that you understand when you get into a rejection situation, you understand what it is, you understand your feelings behind it, and the next phone call won't be as hard. That gives you an opportunity, so because that same resolution will stay there, so as you're pursuing it more, you feel more confident about that resolution, that you know that it's a real thing and that you can actually achieve it. You know, when we do this show, I want to make sure that everybody understands that when it comes to resolution and it comes to goals, it is important. We're always goal-oriented people. And as business owners, being goal-oriented is something that you should feel good about. You should feel good about setting resolutions. But at some point, maybe this year, maybe it's next year, but at some point, we have to turn into this resolution person. So at some point, we have to say it's no longer okay not to get to a resolution. At some point, it has to be irritating to us as business owners to not get to our resolution. We are all capable. We have all the necessities. We're able to talk. We have cars. We have vehicles. We have all the right tools to make things happen. It's just the mind and heart connection that we're missing. And I guarantee that if the mind and heart understand and get used to goals, get used to resolutions, you will see the effects of actually resolving things. That happiness will always find you on a regular basis. And I challenge all the business owners that are watching online, I challenge everybody that's here in our studio audience to this year, pick 2 things out of your business model that you're going to resolve. Just 2. And feel the energy on that so you know that you can do it if you have challenges with this area. But in 2016, make this the year that no longer is it okay for you not to get to that resolution point. So I would like for you guys to follow us here on Facebook under Executive Talk, follow us on Twitter under Exec Talk, Instagram, and our YouTube page under Executive Money Inc. But in the meantime, thank you guys for showing up. I got to get back to work. Thank you.